Good morning, everyone, and hello, Gabrielle. It's Twin Flame Tuesday.
Red Rising.
Girl, it's always so good to see you.
You too, girl.
We have a great topic today, and it's about how your community, those who they know that their twin flame is in the afterlife, actually serves as a model, really and truly. And although our hearts go out to them, for all of us who have twin flame, because you all had no choice but accept. If I want a full life in the 3D, I have to do it a different way. But at the same time, you are still connected to that person. And so you have to make that a healthy connection and choose how much of a connection that is, what a healthy connection means. So it's the model whether your connection here is happening or not happening. Because as much as you and I both know and believe that twin flames are meant to get together.
Yeah.
No matter what that contract is, it takes both people to fulfill a contract.
Yeah, it takes two to tango.
Right. And if one is not, if it's not both, and it's not the cornucopia that you're both supposed to have, if you're having to do it alone, you're still meant to shine. Your life is still meant to be in the sun. Just like when you all lose your twin literally to the other side, you can have that cornucopia feeling because you can still connect with them if that's what you choose to do. That's a choice you make. But you're meant to have an amazing life here. And so you're the model for everyone that's dealing with twin flame right now. And you all had no choice. So again, I can't imagine, I know all of us would rather not have our twin because they are still here and can still build a full life. But so on the one hand, it's kind of easier. You didn't have a choice, but on the other, it's not. So so go ahead, girl.
Yeah, because I've had so many people come to me that twins are still here and they're dealing with the push and pull, the runner chaser dynamic. And they're like, oh my God, if my twin was to die, I would just die myself. And I'm like, I completely understand where you are. After, like I said, after my twin passed away, like I wasn't suicidal, but I was ready to go, and so, but spirit, it was so much more. It was so much more we had to do here. And by me going inside of myself, healing those wounds, and after my twin passed away, he was adamant. He was legitimately adamant on us connecting so we could be, because we bring transformation in his life together, working from two different sides. So it was shortly after he passed away, he started sending me signs. And sometimes spirits aren't that adamant right after, but he was adamant. so, and thank God I was aware to even just, I've always had an open mind. Even back then, before I even jumped into my spiritual journey, I had an open mind. So it was beautiful that I was aware to pick up on the signs that he was sending me. And so another thing about that is that when twins do pass over, I talk to so many twins that twins have passed over and they get stuck. They get stuck in the loop of, dealing with the pain of their twin being on the other side, or even if they are communicating with their twin, they're just like, that part can get toxic in itself as well, because you can get too reliant on that relationship of them being on the other side. And so I fell victim to that too. My twin cut me off from the other side for a minute. He was like, no, you're focusing too much of your energy on me. We're supposed to be doing other things. So it got to a point where I used to see him all the time with my mind's eye, and then he just stopped showing up. And I'm like, what's going on? So I had to learn how to navigate those energies within myself, navigate those energies and heal those energies. And that's why it's so important, because we can do this with our twin if our twin is physically here, or we can do this if our twin is not physically here. It's all about us. Our twin at the end of the day brings us back to what? To union with ourselves. So if your twin is here and you all are together, it's bringing you to union back with yourself. If your twin is here and you all are not together, it's still meant to bring you back to union with yourself. If your twin is on the other side, it is still bringing you back to union with yourself. It's our perception of where we are and how to process the information of everything that's happening in our life at that time.
You said a couple things there. You talked about Thank goodness you were aware and you saw the signs.
Yeah.
So let's explain what you meant there, because we throw around this term consciously aware, conscious awareness, waking up, higher level of consciousness, higher vibrational frequency, all of that stuff. All that means is you are open to and are seeing signs, and you recognize them for what they are. People who are seeing the 1-1s all the time on the clock, or the 2-2s all the time on the clock, that's not on their clocks any more often than it's on anybody else's clock. But the ones who are seeing it, it's because they are open to the awareness of it. Whereas the person who is not open to the awareness of it, they just go right by it and they're oblivious to it.
Yeah.
It's there, but it had no meaning to them. It didn't catch their attention. It is not in their field, their energy field, to be consciously aware of it yet. They are not at that vibrational frequency where that catches their attention and has any meaning to them. So that's what you mean by that.
Yeah.
And so that is really an important thing to say, is that conscious awareness just is what it is. And we get there by, we can raise our conscious awareness by choice.
Yeah.
By going in within, and going within can mean many things. It can mean breath work. It can mean sitting and meditating. It can mean spending time alone and going into nature. It can mean exercising. It can mean so many things.
Trauma work, trauma release. Yeah.
Absolutely. It means so many things. But if you start noticing these things, that's a good sign that you're coming up in conscious awareness, because all of a sudden things will, and you'll start assigning meaning to them as well. You'll be like, okay, that's not just a coincidence. That can't be just a coincidence. And you're right, because there are no coincidences. So that's the first thing, is conscious awareness. And this definitely raises your conscious awareness. There's no doubt, because you're not even aware of this journey until that starts happening. You're on the journey.
Yeah.
Just as much, you have a twin flame, just as much when you're aware of it or not aware of it. They're still your twin flame. You're on that journey, aware of it or not.
Yeah.
But until you're aware of it, you just as well not be on the journey, because you're not participating in it. You're the one that's not actively participating in the contract.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make you bad. That just means you're not aware.
Yeah.
Whether you're choosing to be unaware or whatever, or you're just truly just not aware.
Yeah.
You're not aware.
You're not aware, yeah.
And then you talked about being stuck in the loop.
Yeah.
Girl. Those negative energy loops, those that just keep doing this, and you're not getting any fresh energy in
Never
there.
ending story.
The never ending story. That goes back to, because I'm being channeled all this stuff all the time, and I'm going to teach this in the workshop Thursday. But that goes back to that Kundalini energy that is not dissipating. And do you know why it's not?
Yeah.
It's been trained not to.
Yeah.
We have how long now been using that energy to be assertive and aggressive. We've thought that that's what power is. We've also thought that's what love is. We thought it was that sexual healing thing, which is not bad. We're all for that. We're down with that. But that's not what it all is. So this Kundalini energy, it keeps doing this. But we know that an ascended state goes on up, because this energy is supposed to come up to higher levels of awareness and do higher things, not be aggressive, not be any of those things. It's supposed to be in joy and bliss. And that way we're making decisions that's good for the whole, not just us. And so this trapped energy, when it runs into us, and it wants to join with us, because it wants to join with us. Okay. And then we start leading the way to it. It's like, oh yeah, this feels good. And then we start saying, okay, it's time to ascend. It's like, I don't like how this feels. No. No, baby, let's go back down to the denser energies. And that's what it wants to do.
Yeah.
And that's where runner chaser comes from.
Yes.
is the ascending energy is saying, no, 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 come up here. This is freedom. This is where we are free and we ascend and where we have these beautiful, beautiful lives we're meant to have, where we have all of that, but so much more.
Yeah.
But they don't get it because it's not comfortable to them. It's not the way they see things. They're not consciously aware yet.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing this yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so they want to run back down. And then that's where we have to make the choice. Do we keep chasing that? Do we stay in that loop with that energy and keep going back down to denser energies ourselves? It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yes, you're in a contract with that person, but they're not, the contract is this. The contract is this beautiful life that is so much more. And if they're not stepping into that, and you all have had no choice. Yours has moved to the other side. And, well, that's not true. You do have a choice. As you said, you can stay in that loop with them too.
Mm-hmm.
And that you do not want to do.
Yeah.
But it's so much more, for most people, cut and dry. Because most people see, okay, they are on the other side. Most people do finally get to the point they want a good life here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they will more easily accept that, okay, I'm in this contract on this side at least by myself, and I can still have a beautiful life here. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel? Yeah, how do we get people to understand that it really is that simple? I mean, I know I made it so simple, yet I know that emotionally and getting there, girl, it's a freaking journey.
Yeah, that is a journey. It's a journey for a lot of different reasons. It's a journey because the way our society is structured. We're structured to not understand our emotions. We're structured to not know what our energy feels like, what energy feels like in general. So it's very simple. Like anything that we teach is very simple teachings.
It is.
But it's the mind. The mind is going 100 miles per hour and everything from work to relationship to children to everything else. The mind is going in chaos. And we don't center our energy and come back to ourselves and ask, where do we want to be? How do we want to show up? What do we want to do? And that's why we always teach about energy management. It's so important. Your emotions are one of your most powerful tools in this reality. Your emotion is what gives your manifestation that momentum to go hit on. And if we're not able to control our emotions and channel that energy in the direction of what we need to channel it in, then therefore it gets chaotic and then we're all scattered and oblivious everywhere. So it's all about bringing your energy back to you, centering it, and managing that energy and focusing that energy and where you want it to go. Where do you want to create? What life you want to create? How do you want to show up? What do you want to be?
One of the tools we can use, as we've talked about before, are crystals.
Yes.
Rose quartz. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I actually drew cards today with you here.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm like, I think I know what we need to talk about today. And you're like, well, tell me. And I'm like, no, not till I draw the cards. And I'm drawing the cards, and you're just laughing because I'm like, oh, you can't make this up. So we drew rose quartz, which is about a different kind of love. And tell me just off the top of your head what you said about rose quartz, because what you said about rose quartz is amazing in and of itself.
Rose quartz is that energy to bring you is unconditional love. It's unconditional love for yourself, but also unconditional love for everybody else around you as well, for your partner, for union. But that unconditional love, when people hear unconditional love, they think it's just trample all over. That's not what unconditional love means. Unconditional love means I have sovereignty over myself. I hold my energy. I love myself unconditionally. I love you unconditionally too. I see where you are, but I'm not going to allow that energy to drag me down. Now, you can meet me here or you cannot meet me here, and I am fine exactly where I am. So that's what unconditional love is. It's about having sovereignty over yourself. We can't force other people or other things around us to move the way we want them to move. We can only stand in our energy and hold our energy and walk in that energy. And one or two things will happen. They will come and meet you if their energy wants to come and meet you. If not, and they're not ready, then we have to be okay. And by us having sovereignty over ourselves, we are okay.
Yeah. But being that whole and complete person, we are showing up. It's unconditional because we don't show up with a list of expectations for them. We show up with, hey, this is my list of what I expect of me in this relationship,
Yeah.
and what you can expect of me. But I'm not bringing a list of expectations for you. You bring your list,
Yeah.
and let me look at it.
Yeah.
And then we can negotiate a little bit,
Yeah.
but not so much that it pulls me out of my frequency,
Yeah.
nor do I want to pull you out of yours.
Yeah.
We're either resonant or we're not.
We're not. Yeah.
We're either ready for this contract and to have this, or I'm all this in a bag of chips. I've got this much energy coming down. I'm conscious, I'm aware, I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go wild and be every bit of that, because there are doors opening, there are rewards for me, and I get to decide to go wild, to be all of that. And so I'm going to have a life in the sun, whether you want to have it with me or not.
And you just said all that at 9/11. You know what 9/11 stands for?
Go ahead.
So 9/11, when Larry was here, 7/11 was the numbers I used to always see. 9/11 was the numbers that he used to always see. So I always correlate those numbers. And 9 is that number of completion. So you just said all of that, stepping into your new destiny. You just said all that at 9/11, and it's carried by the angel numbers 11. So as you open into that new door of that creation of completion of the energy of you embodying your full self and what you came here to do. So that was just magical. You said all that at 9/11.
Well, here's the magical part. I didn't say 9/11, but that's what you heard.
Yeah.
That's the magical part.
No, you didn't say it, but the time was 9/11.
Oh, the time was 9/11. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
when you were saying that, the time, I said, oh,
9/11. I love it. Okay. Well, this is what the book had to say about rose quartz, which was so perfect. Rose quartz's blush is caused by a combination of manganese, which feeds the heart, titanium, which lends unbreakable strength, and iron, which grounds and centers. So we have to have our heart fed. That's our story coming into our heart. That's all of this coming into us, and us trusting that that's who we are, and trusting that. And yeah, this is what it is. But if that's not happening, doors are going to open, portals are going to open. Be our full self.
Yeah, 2 new timelines are going to happen.
Going wild doesn't mean being crazy. Going wild means living fully. Don't focus on just, but what about this? If we get out of balance with that, then we're not a whole and complete person. All we're focusing on is this one aspect of our lives. Is it an important aspect? Yes, it is. But if they're not stepping into the contract with you, you've got yourself in that. You've got yourself in your own Kundalini loop.
Yeah,
doing this that's going to drive you crazy.
Yes.
You can't stay in that energy.
No, you cannot.
You can't do it. So it also lends to unbreakable strength, and that's what brings us out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because look at that line. That line says, you know what? Look at that circle. I've had freaking enough of being in this loop.
Yeah.
I can break myself out of that damn loop. If you don't want to be in the contract with me, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I can break myself out of that loop. I got my own sunshine. There are portals opening for me. I've got a caring community that will support me. I am all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah.
I'm all that in a bag of chips. My heart knows the story. The energy is coming down. I am awake. I know how to be whole and complete by myself. Mm-hmm. And I respect you as whole and complete by yourself, even though you're not doing the same with me. Mm-hmm. No problem. Mm-hmm. And it grounds and centers us, which makes us not do something stupid like just go wild.
Yeah.
But going wild means living the full life, being everything you're meant to be, embracing all of what you are. I mean, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. Embracing all of your magic.
Embrace all your magic. And so then there's this poet wrote an I am declaration, and I have used this before. I am the wind blowing off the sea, the crest of the ocean's waves. I am the fox hidden in the underbrush, the hawk soaring above the cliff. Perspective, girl, perspective. I can see way above. My energy sees way above. I am going to have sunshine in my life. I am the sun glistening on the dewdrops, the leaves that heal the heart. I am the stillness of the lake, the echo of the mountains. Hear me roar.
I love it.
I know the secrets of the dark and hidden spaces. I've been trapped there.
Yeah.
I've been trapped. I'm not going to stay trapped in that dense energy anymore. I'm going to ascend. I'm not doing this loop.
Yeah.
The cycles of the moon, the place where the sun sets, and how a new day begins.
Beautiful.
Going into the new portals.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that if that person comes up to your vibrational frequency, if your life is such that it works, that is your choice.
Mm-hmm.
But if that doesn't happen, that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
For you all, that's already been decided. They're on the other side.
Yeah.
But for the people here, yeah.
And for us, it's for us to make a decision. Are we going to stay in the loop of pain, or are we going to send out that loop of pain? So you still have a choice to make. If your twin is here and not in the union, you have a choice to make. If your twin is not here and you're still in union, you have a choice to make. Because, when they leave, I've heard so many twins and that are still in chaos years later. Like, I've reached another level in my journey inside the group. I still see twins that are still agonizing in pain. And I get it. But when we have to step outside of that and see that we are the one causing our own chaos. Your twin on the other side doesn't want you to live in chaos. They want you because you got work to do, So they want you to rise up the country. They want you to heal the wound of losing them. They want you to do all that. And I get it. It can be so hard at times. But when you transcend that energy, it's so much more that comes with that. It's so much more magic, so much more beauty that you get a chance to create in this life. And you're creating it for not just yourself, but for the planet, for the consciousness, for everyone. And that's what we came here to do to begin with. Let's just get that out the way. That's what we came here to do to begin with.
It is. And so sometimes people get angry at the person who crosses over.
Yeah. I did too afterward.
Sure. Okay. Sometimes we get angry here at the twin that won't step up.
Yeah.
But that's when we're trapped in that loop.
Yeah.
And we're in denser energy.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, and this is my workshop Thursday, every relationship is meant to show us, every relationship is a mirror. And we can do nothing about what someone else is doing. So what those relationships are to show us is, what is there that I'm doing right in my life? How have I come up? What are all the, and by right, I don't mean to be judgmental. I just mean, how have I grown? What are the things, how am I progressing, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. It's to show us, okay, I'm revisiting something that is to show, so I can pat on my back and say, yeah, I've healed that already. I caught that.
Yeah.
Yay me. Or, oh, I healed that already, but I slipped a little bit. Darn. Okay, I caught myself. Apologize, readjust, progress. Don't do it again, or try not to do it again.
Recalibrate, yeah.
Recalibrate. What happened here? What caused that? Or, wow, there's something I didn't even see that. That came out of nowhere. But if I look at it, it does relate back to, it's just, I'm finally at that level to heal that. Mm-hmm. And so that's what, there's no reason to get angry with them for not being here. Just like there's no reason really to get angry with anyone who dies. Although we are human and we are going to have that moment or moments of anger. So don't beat up on yourself for them. Don't beat up on yourself if you revisit them sometimes, because we do live here and we do get our feelings hurt. and we do get in our feelings sometimes. Own that, because that's authenticity.
Yeah.
Just don't stay there.
Yeah.
Come back up to the truth.
That's a part of the journey. I want people to get comfortable with that.
Right.
See, a lot of times when we're doing this healing journey, we get uncomfortable with those lower dense energies. And I get it. Because we've been in those lower dense energies for so long, we don't want to stay in those lower. We don't want to get caught back in that loop. But the part of the process is when you become aware of something, anger is usually the next step after that. You become aware and you're like, I agree to this program. I agree to this. Oh, hell no. So
I know. Yeah.
You become angry.
Hell no.
Hell no. So you become angry. So that's what a lot of people get stuck at. They get stuck at that anger part of that journey. But that anger is just another energy that you're meant to transmute to come up the level and frequency. So as you get anger, use that anger, take that power and redirect that energy within yourself. Transmute the energy within yourself. And then you're steady coming up the levels of consciousness. It's not meant for you to stay there. We're going to get angry when we become aware of something. It's a part of the process. Okay, I felt that emotion. I saw it for what it was. I love myself through it. And I let it go. Now I transform that energy to work with me for my highest good. And when you start to doing that, you will start to seeing the magic, the beauty, the wonder happening in your life, because you're taking a dense energy and transforming it into a lighter vibrational energy.
Which is, anger has to do with trapped Kundalini.
Yeah.
That just keeps circling and becomes aggressive, instead of you ascending that energy and diffusing, dispersing that energy into the cornucopia or sunshine of stuff that your higher power is saying, this is what you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have sunshine, a beautiful life, all this stuff. That's what I'm bringing down for you, pulling up for you. This is what I came here. This is the light, wanting a human body for this tactile experience. It doesn't want a bad experience, but when we get that anger caught and stay in that loop. But yes, you're absolutely right. When we first recognize something, and we may be first recognizing it for the 40th time,
Yeah.
it circles back around. We do forget.
Yeah.
We process something, and then it hits us a new way.
Yeah.
And it feels new to us for a few minutes, a few hours, a few days. And then we're like, hold on a second. I've processed this already. It just hit me a different way.
Different level of healing.
Right. And hold on, I'm not staying in this place, because I don't deal with things that way. I deal with, oh my God, are you okay?
Well, yeah, the cats.
I don't deal with things that way. I don't throw things at people. I go higher up. I disperse that energy. And yeah, that's what we're talking about, is literally what you just said. That is what ascending energy means. That's what it means. The higher levels of it, letting it come up through the higher chakras instead of being caught down there in the denser ones. That's exactly what we're saying. So there's no reason, yes, you may get angry at them, but don't stay in that loop.
Yeah.
Let it come up. Forgive yourself for it. Apologize if you need to apologize. Do whatever it is to be the person that you are. Be true to who you are. Whatever that is, whatever your authentic self is. And just, yeah, there's no reason, and that's any relationship.
Yeah.
Because these things all apply to every relationship. Which twin flame is the model of. Yeah, twin flame is the model for all of them. So, but know that every relationship, you are meant to be strong. You're not meant to stay in that circle. You're meant to get out of it. Be strong, get out of those circles. Doors are going to open. You decide. There are rewards. There are portals. There are other things. Whether you do it in that relationship with the person, or whether it's your one, you whole and complete, and you go to something else.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something else for you.
Yeah.
Yes, there are contracts, but you can't fulfill a contract by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I love when we talked about transmuting those negative emotions.
Yeah.
I had, and I think, I don't know, we talked about it on maybe last week or whatever, but I know me and you personally talked about it. I don't remember if we talked about it online or not. But it was a day that I was mad at my boyfriend. Well, it was going to be that way. It was finna get that way because it was a triggered emotion that came up from some childhood wounds, as well as me being a mother. A mother is going to go into that natural instinct of a mother, you know. And so I saw it for what it was. Make a long story short, the baby was wanting to eat something, and he's been picky eating, and he gets the time where he wants to eat, you know. And I'm like, well, we need to go get something to eat. And so my boyfriend didn't get him to go, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go get something to eat. So the part of me is like, because when I was a kid, sometime I went days without eating. So there was a part of my trauma that came on board that was like, my child is not gonna go without eating anything, you know. But then at the same time too, it was a part of, I'm a mother. I take care of my cubs, you know. So it was both of those energies. But instead of me willing that energy towards him and getting angry at him, I went to the store, got in the car, drove, processed these emotions while I was driving. And I channeled that energy. I felt when the old version of me wanted to put that energy towards him, but I felt when my higher self came on board and said, no, come on, we're moving this energy this way. Take this energy and focus it on something else. I legitimately was driving, and I took all that rage, all that anger, channeled it, and I put all that emotion into my dreams and my ambitions. And it was just so uplifting. I was crying and driving because I took a deep emotion, which anger can be a powerful emotion
It's
if you know
powerful.
how to channel it.
It's a lot of Kundalini
Yes,
and
yes,
dragon and
yes,
unicorn and energy that you're pulling up for that. And
yes,
those are the higher ones as you
yes.
let it come up.
And they come up, yes. And so I took that energy, channeled it, and put it into all my dreams. I just saw I had a flood of everything that I'm creating in my life. And I was just like, and afterwards I was like, so proud of myself. I said, I just alchemized that energy. Came back to the house. I said, you know what? Told my boyfriend, I said, I'm not even mad at you. I said, the old me would have got mad at you. I said, but I saw that
I'm
energy.
not even mad at you. You deserve it. I'm not even mad at you.
I said, I'm not even mad at you. I took that energy, transmuted it for myself. Thank you for it. Because even in the time he said something, you sure that's not your trauma? And at the time I looked at it, I said, no. When I got in the car, I said, you know what? It's a mixture of both. So I was able to look at it, recognize it, see it for what it is, take that energy, transmute it into something I want to transmute it to. And that is the beauty with learning how to work with the energies inside of you. We're going to have these emotions. We are creatures that came into experience. So we're going to experience the beautiful emotions as well as the sad emotions, you know. So when we learn how to take that sad emotion, we can be in the happy emotion. We have no problem with that. But when we can take that sad or that deep or that anger emotion and transmute it and bring it up to light and love, that's power in that.
And, for the people who love the personification of things, let me explain what all of that was that I was just talking about. People are very familiar with the Kundalini. They've been talking about that, and that sounds all Eastern and all of that stuff. But people who do angel healing and all of those things, angel is personification of an energy.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon is personification of the energy that can go to the dense places, down to that Kundalini that's not coming up, and it can pull that up.
Yeah.
It can pull it all the way up to the angel energy that can't get down there and get it. Yeah. It can pull it up to the unicorn, which is high vibrational love energy, the personification of it. Everybody knows what a unicorn looks like. Everybody relates to that. That cannot go down there to the depths of where that Kundalini has gone back down to. Yeah. It takes dragon energy, girl, like a lion, but dragon, to go down and get that. Yeah. And then when it gets up to unicorn energy, well, then we can go to phoenix energy and we can rise. But when you put a phoenix and a unicorn together, then you get Pegasus energy. And that is light and airy. There's no fire with it. The fire is gone then because there's no anger. There's none of any of that stuff. Last one is Pegasus. Because when it comes out Pegasus, I mean, it's got wings, but it is the unicorn. It is all, it's got all the power of all of them. But it's pure light, pure love. That is the highest form that we're aware of. But these are all personifications of energies. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Kundalini is the one that goes all the way down. And it takes the dragon energy to pull that up to the next level and the next level and the next level. These are levels of energy that we utilize consciously. That's what consciously aware is. That is saying, okay, you made the conscious choice. I am deep in my Kundalini here. I have gone way back down. I have stayed in the loop. I am not dispersing my energy. I am not going high up. I am not high vibrational right now. I am dense here. I'm pissed. But not necessarily all bad. Part of it was righteous.
Yeah.
Part of it, we have righteous reasons to be pissed sometimes.
Yeah.
But what do you do with even righteous anger?
Yeah.
Even righteous anger.
Even righteous anger, yeah.
Well, you use these energy levels and you let the dragon pull it up to the next level. And you say, well, what can we do with that?
Yeah.
And then the angels and the unicorns and the phoenix, they start saying, come on up. We can do this with it. We can do this with it. And the next thing you know, we are all living at a level where we don't think the same way. We don't react in the same way. We handle it all knowing you knew there wasn't anything you could do to change what he was going to do. Yeah. All you did was you worked on Gabrielle. You took care of the situation. You handled you. And then when you got back, you shared with him, not, I fixed you. Look what you did. Look what that. No, you know, look what I did.
Yeah.
I took this situation and I'm not mad at you at all. You know, you be you. No conditions on you, but look what I did with it.
Yeah.
And pray, and you know what? And pat him on the back for getting it.
Yeah.
In the contract. I don't know what y'all's contract is, but talk about doing a great job. You know, I'm proud of him. Yeah, give him a pat on the back for me.
I will, because it is taking us a lot to get here. You know.
Yeah.
It is taking us a lot to get here. But that's the beauty of it, and how that energy looks. I want to talk about how it feels when you're transmuting those energies inside of you.
Good.
You explained it so wonderful as the personification of the energies. So how does it usually feel when you're going through and you're in that dense energy? These higher aspects, like you said, the dragon energy, these energies will start to showing you parts of yourself, start to showing you. So doing that part, it was showing me, okay, yeah, I became aware. Yeah, there was a trauma, a part of a trauma response. And yeah, it was a part of me being a mom, having that instinct inside of me. So I brought awareness to that. Okay, so now that I'm aware of that, my spirit team and myself showed me that I'm aware of that. Okay, so because I understand the unconditional love aspect of it, for you to transmute these energies, you have to be in unconditional love. That's why I don't teach any of my clients to do any kind of healing, self-healing work if they don't understand the frequency of sitting with unconditional love with yourself. Because if I would not have understood the unconditional love part of myself, I would have judged Gabrielle. I would say, oh, there you go again, get in that energy, this and that. But no, I love myself. I understand that I'm going through these different energies. I'm working out these different energies with myself, learning more about myself, hold space for myself to feel those emotions and energies, and came out of it. So it looks like your higher self showing you the different aspects of yourself, and you're just studying loving yourself, walking yourself on the journey. That's how I kind of visualize it inside of myself. Just study being walked and held by the hand.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I had thought of it in that way, but kind of didn't think of it in that way. Yesterday, I had, four basically. Maybe five actually. 5 different relationships showed to me. All things I really already knew and had really already dealt with. But they were big things. I mean, they have been big things. And I mean, bam, 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 one after the other, the revelation coming back. Only a little deeper in the revelation, a little more, no, you didn't imagine it. This is the truth of that situation. And a little bit more of the step of, and this is what's going to happen because of that. Because, as you know, I get those things. Of course, energy can change, and I know that. So old me would have been all, oh my God, this is going to happen. And I would have been, when's it going to happen? What's going, and I would have been in all of that. So automatically, I'm very proud of myself, because I don't get in that anymore, because energy shifts, and it doesn't matter what they show me. Yeah. Butterfly effect.
Yeah. Timeline shift. Yeah.
Yeah. Timelines shift.
Yeah.
You can show me what the energy is right now.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the energy right now. Timelines shift. Yeah. Like my niece, she applied for a job. And I told her whenever I read the energy, I said, the energy at this moment is you're to get that job.
Yeah.
She didn't get it. When she didn't get it and she told me, I'm like, okay, doesn't make sense. Well, I know it's not that I read the energy wrong.
Yeah.
I said to her when I read it, the energy right now. And they even, whenever I did that, instead of me going into, how did I mess that up? What did I get wrong? Oh my God, I told her the wrong thing. Is the minute I accepted, the timeline shifted, they even showed me, gave me a glimpse of how the timeline shifted to give me that validation. Yes, you got that right. Keep going. You understand. So, but all of these things they showed me yesterday at a deeper level. Well, I've got chills now. I've got the dragons like all around, the whole thing. I didn't get in my feels about it. I was like, okay, yep, knew that already. Yeah, okay, so you're showing me that next level of it. Doesn't feel good. Don't like that.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so that's going to happen. Well, it may not happen. Yeah. Right now it's going to happen, but it may not happen. So I'll worry about it when it does.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, I'll handle that when it happens too. Really? That too? Okay. Well, didn't see that one coming, but that makes sense. And that's how I've dealt with all of it.
Yeah.
And then somebody who feels my energy called me this morning and said, "What's going on with you at 2 a.m.?" I said, "Nothing, I was asleep." Yeah. And so so all of this is going on, but I'm at the level of awareness that instead of getting caught in those loops, it's like, no, that is not what I'm going to do with my energy. My life is this.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting caught in these inner rings. I'm going to be strong and keep doing this because I'm this. And I can't do that. I don't have any control over any of those things. I'll deal with them when they come my way. If the first thing comes back my way, and okay, I'll handle it then. And I'll handle it because I'll be guided by all of this. And second thing, third thing, fourth thing, I already dealt with. It came my way, and it's all going to be fine. And fifth thing, same thing. I'm good.
And another aspect I want to hit on that you talked about was when we do readings. I want to get a little bit into that energy because you brought that up. When we do readings, people tend to think, we're reading, this is going to be your definite outcome. Like we talked about, it's timelines. Everything is energy and vibration. Things are always shifting. We're always shifting. Nothing stays the same. So when you come to me or make sure anyone else and get a reading, know that is the energy that we're reading in that moment in time right then and there. Now, you can get off the phone with me and make a different decision that can switch your timeline from what the energy that I just read from then and there. And usually what I do when I'm doing something myself, I experience what is the probability? I ask probability, statistic wise. What is the probability? Is it a 50% chance I'm on that timeline right now? Spirit will give me, okay, yeah, it's like 90%. Okay, so it's probability is most likely gonna happen. Okay, well, it's like 30%. Okay, well, so I kind of experience what's the probability of this happening,
Right.
So everything is about, because we're all making decisions every single minute. I can make a decision right now to not get up and go to the store. That could be a whole effect into not doing something else. You see what I'm saying? Butterfly effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, what I'm saying. So everything that we do is making decisions and putting vibration out into the field.
Everything is synergistic. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
So, and that is why we are supposed to be in our frequency. That is why we're supposed to hold our frequency. Is so that this is a harmonious experience for everyone. Yeah. The reason we reverse engineer this and write our life before we come is so it will be as beautiful as possible.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean we're giving up our free will. We wrote it in our free will. It's hard here because when you're trying to write something with all this butterfly effect going on, you try to write 4 stories at one time with 100 characters in each story and coordinate that. Try to do that. You can't do that from as it's going forward. Yeah. But if you write it backwards, that's why reverse engineering is such an easy thing to do. You say, okay, here's the bandwidth that is the frequency that this planet can be within, and the universe stay harmonious. Let's all create our stories within that. So we all are living this. This is the contract for that. Let's all go down there. Remember that. You all let us come down, put the energy in you. So let's do that. But we forget that. We forgot that. That's not what we've come here and done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because we didn't understand that we were energy and that
Mm-hmm.
that's what we have come here to do.
Mm-hmm.
That is our free will. That is what we are here to do.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean, I mean, that bandwidth is meant for us to have some latitude here, but not a lot, because then we throw everything out of sync. But that doesn't rob us of our free will. Our free will is to come here. That's the reason it's supposed to flow so easily, is those decisions are supposed to be, oh yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do. Oh yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do, because they're in us already.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we hear everything you're supposed to have is already here.
Mm-hmm.
It's already happened. It's already, that's why we hear those things. It's because we've already prepared it for ourselves to feel into it and do it. If something lights you up like this and you turn and walk away from it, you are screwing yourself.
Yeah.
And I've done it to myself.
Yeah.
So this is me preaching to the choir. I can't tell you how many times in my life things have lit me up, but they scared the daylights out of me. So my Kundalini went running back down and ran and did not do what I was supposed to do. But the more and more aware in consciousness, and also though, there have been many times, because there's a part of me that won't run from anything. I know that can be hard to believe for people. Not for you, because you know me well. There's part of me that won't run from anything. There have been many times that I have not ran and have done what I was supposed to do. And so, but we have to live our whole life that way.
Yeah.
We have to live our lives as a whole that way, not just a part, not just our work, not just our love. We can't just love that hard. We can't just work that hard. We can't just play that hard. We can't just be that hard as a mom, but not put it into our other relationships. We can't be just that much of a dad and not put it into the rest of our relationships. We can't just be that much into our money and not put it into other parts of our relationships. It's got to be the whole thing, or we're not balanced.
Synergistic, yeah.
Yeah, the cornucopia has everything. It doesn't have the sun. If you look at this thing, there's a little bit of everything there. People are like, why is all that in there? It's because it's a whole life. It's a whole. This thing is keeping a whole. There's a whole world in this if you get to look at it. And so, yeah, girl, we said we weren't going to talk this long. Look at us.
I know.
Well, that's because there's that much to say about it. There just is.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I did want to show for sure what book I was reading out of. I want people to be aware. Yeah, I don't want to do that with. It is again the Illustrated Crystallary by Maya Toh, and this book is just like freaking amazing. And so, and then there's the card. The artwork is amazing. It's by Kate O'Hara, and this was a gift from Sherry Moyse, and so I have used this book. And as you know, use it all the time. So thank you so much for the book. But, so what do you want to add, girl? What do you want to say?
I mean, just hold your frequency. I mean, that's what we preach about this all the time. Hold your frequency. We can't stress it out enough. And the more that you continue to do this work and hold space for yourself and love yourself along the journey, you will see exactly what we're talking about. And some of you are probably already seeing what we're talking about because you're doing this work. You're embodying this work. Just become the embodiment of what you came here to do, and things will flow into your life the way they need to.
That is absolutely right. You said it all right then. That's the frequency we came here to be that. So my workshop Thursday talks about how to do that. And because it can sound complex, it's really about a very simple behavioral style analysis that I used for years and still use. But the way I was taught it was to use in the wrong way. It was I was taught to use it so we all bridged to get along with people, bridge to fit ourselves to people, bridge to fit in a certain role. That's the wrong way. The way to use it is to see clearly how you are and how someone else is, and whether you resonate with each other or not. And in some situations, you have to work with them anyway. So so you how to hold your frequency when you have to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and what that's mirroring to you so you can. But also, it's really about how with every behavioral style, every person, every relationship is a mirror. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's really about holding your frequency and ways to do that. But it's a very simple way, because we talk about relationships, and that every relationship this stuff applies to. But there really are some simple behavioral style models out there that can help you navigate this a little better and help you see, oh, that I do that. Because a lot of people like definitions of things, and they like to have a picture of it. They don't like to just try to figure it out themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They like to have a model to put it into. This is a really simple model, easy to do on the fly. You learn it really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other models too, which I'll tell people about if there's something they would rather do. So yeah, it's gonna be we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. I'm good. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing Thursday at 1:00. The link is on my Facebook page. It's and I don't have it on the website, I don't think, but it's on the Facebook page at Case of Living, and it's on the YouTube page. And so yeah, and
You
then
have to send me so I can share it too.
okay, and then meditation Thursday night, and those are both Zoom links. The workshop will be recorded. The meditations I'm not recording, and the reason I'm not is we're all like, I'm drawing cards and we're all talking a lot, and then I'm doing the meditation. I could record just the meditation, but I haven't been. I've just been keeping it. It's been a small group, and it's been really an intimate thing. So but I would love for people to join us. We would love for more people to come, but we've been having a really great time, and people coming have been really therapeutic with one another. So I want to keep it that, even if it's big, I want to keep it that safe space. Yeah, that safe space. So yeah, so Thursday night, that'll be at 7. So that's what I have going on. Oh, and next month I'm doing Chiron Wound. That's what the workshop next month will be, is Chiron Wound. Yeah. So
wait for that too.
I know, I'm excited about it too. So yeah. What do you got going on, girl?
I'm working on a lot of different projects right now, as you know. I am if you want to get any spiritual mindset coaching or twin flame coaching, the link will be available in the bio. As well as I started my UGC content creation career, part of it. So I love it. I make content for my brand and my business anyway. So now I'm going to be making content for other brands and other businesses. So I've been doing my portfolio, jumping into that, and it's just beautiful. I'm just expanding my energy of myself and learning, discovering more about myself, and just loving life.
That sounds amazing.
And helping others to do the same.
Well, that really is, in the end, you and I we do have specific things we talk about, but in the end, that is why we're here. We're here to hold our frequency, and the way we hold our frequency is by being happy. Because that's how everybody holds their frequency.
Yeah.
Do what lights you up and makes you happy. And if you're not happy, that's what you need to look at. And you don't have to get, oh my God, am I fulfilling my contract? You don't have to get into all of that. You don't have to understand all the terms we're using. You don't have to look at, are you happy?
Yeah.
And if you're not happy, figure out how to be happy. and then you'll be holding your frequency.
Yes. Yeah. True.
And before we came on, you were telling me, oh man, I'm working da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, we've talked about that. And you said, no, this is different. This isn't making me tired. This is lighting me up. I said, it's all good then.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yes, because I'm working from legitimately some morning 5:30 to 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And when I feel like my brain is set no more, I cut it off. But other than that, I'm studying, cranking out stuff, ideas, researching, learning, all other aspects. And it's just like, I feel like a kid that just woke up from the first day of school every day.
When something is lighting you up like that, you're in flow.
Yeah.
In flow means that you're letting the energy that is you flow through you the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And now our energetic bodies know that this physical body cannot sustain that all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why it kicks in and says, no, you got to rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's flow. That's what flow really is. And so that's beautiful and wonderful. So yes, people, we are meant to be happy. We're meant to be giddy over things. We're meant to feel those things. Don't let people tell you that life isn't that. That is why do you think they made physical beings like us to come into? I mean, my gosh, they at the highest level, they've got it all. They came here to be in the tactile and have it all. So yes, it is meant to be that. It is absolutely meant to be these things.
Happy, whole, and complete.
Happy, healthy.
Healthy. Oh, yep. Miss Healthy, yep.
Yep. But we have to understand how to live in the energetic part of ourselves to do it. Yeah. And that's ultimately what we're always talking about. Yeah. Whatever the topic is.
Yeah.
All right, girl.
Love you so much, girl. You too.
I love you too. I love you too. And we love you all too.
We love you all too. And people love you, my twin flame and my spirit guides.
Oh, and the other thing is, Gabrielle and I want to get out in the community. So if anyone would like for us to come talk at your place, to your group, whatever.
An event,
we're all over that. We will come and be this and light the place up because we would absolutely love to do that. We got that card this morning too. I was just saying to her, we needed to be doing that. That's what we're supposed to do. And I drew this card and we both just started laughing. So yes. So if anybody would like to have us come speak, we would love to do that too.
Right. Bye, love y'all. You.